Hi peeps, Junction 6 here. Today's Sunday, so no World of Tanks Blitz replays. Instead, as promised, last Sunday we're going to be looking at some REN. And today I'm going to try and answer the impossible question. What's that impossible question, you're asking? Well, I'm sure many REN fans, the renegades, have been asked this question and have thought about it themselves. And that is, what is REN's best song or video? Which one is the best? Well, it's a hard question to answer. I'm going to be playing some REN tracks in the background, but that doesn't mean that I think that they're the best. They're just something for background music, why we discuss this topic and try and work out which is the best of REN's songs and videos. Now, we could take a deep look at every single video and try and analyse what makes it so good. However, there are far too many videos out there for us to look at all of them. We could take a mathematical approach to it to see if we could find the formula which REN is using to make his music so good. Or we could look at the chemistry. Is there something in REN's music which changes our body chemistry? Now, before we start this, we've got to set out some parameters. The first one being that it must appear on REN's official YouTube channel. That makes sense, doesn't it? Now, I had a look at REN's channel and there are 117 videos, which is far too many for us to look at, so we're going to have to cut them down. So the criteria for this is going to be, it has to be a music video. This will reduce the amount of videos by quite a lot. The first thing we're going to get rid of is all the ones which are not music videos, and this does include lyric videos. I know that is terrible, but I've got to reduce it somehow. There are also a number of songs where REN has done videos of the same song multiple times. Genesis, there's 3 of them. Animal Flow, there's 2 versions. Now, I'm not going to pick which one. We're just going to say that is one video. I'm also not going to include retakes or any of the visualization videos. Now, I know this is controversial. Retakes, REN is really good at retakes. Also, anything live with an audience or with the big push. So along with that, another one which isn't going to be very popular at all, and that is collaborations. So I'm not including anything in which he collaborates. So that means none of the stuff, unfortunately, with Chinchilla, which is just fantastic. And of course, nothing with Sam either. Especially Blind Eyed, which REN himself said is one of his favourite tracks he's ever done. So I'm afraid it can't be in here. Another thing I'm not going to include is the diss tracks. Both the King Dotter and the Cujo Beatdown ones. Both are fantastic though. I'm also not going to include Mackay because that is an instrumental. So, taking into account those rather harsh parameters I've put in for myself, we've got to ask the question, the hardest question possible: what is REN's best track? Well, with all my calculations and parameters and everything else, I've managed to reduce it to 17. I'm going to put these in order which they appear on REN's YouTube channel, starting from the top. Obviously, Money Ties and Troubles, either version. Don't forget there is an acoustic version. Money Game Part 3, fantastic video that. Murderer, yet again, there is 2 versions of that, isn't there? For Joe, now this is a bit controversial because I thought you said you didn't want to put any live stuff in. But I did say recorded in front of an audience, and there is no audience. Animal Flow, yet again, there's 2 versions of Animal Flow, I think. Then we move on to Illest of Our Time. Obviously Sick Boy, the title album, and the controversy surrounding Sick Boy. You can't, high REN, it's got to be in there, hasn't it? It's definitely got to have high REN. What You Want, A really fun, upbeat track that one is. Genesis. Yeah, there is 3 versions of it. Like I say, we're counting it as one video. The Hunger, fantastic. And of course, well, the Tales. You've got to, what can you say about the Tales? They're just incredible. And Power. Yeah, the one which didn't make it onto Sick Boy. Don't know why. And Money Game Part 1, where the Money Game series all started. Then we get on to the early REN stuff, and so you've got Children of the Moon. And finally, It's Alright. Doesn't REN look young there? So that's the 17 songs I've managed to whittle it down to. Now I know I'm going to get grief from people saying, oh, my favourite song wasn't in there. What do you mean? Why isn't Money Game Part 2 in there? That's fantastic. I know these things, guys. I know these things. But I have to set parameters. I have to reduce it down to a manageable number. I don't want to do this. Some of my favourite songs aren't in here now because I've set those parameters. You've got to understand that. I'm not doing this to try and upset anybody. I'm doing it to try and work out what is the best video song that REN has done. And it's difficult, guys. It really is. You've got to have parameters. And different people will resonate differently with different songs. So this is my own personal opinion. Yeah, I'm not saying that anybody else is wrong, and I'm definitely not saying that I am right. What I am saying is, these are the 17 songs I've managed to whittle it down to, and I've got to make a choice out of these 17. You can put your choice down in the comments. It doesn't have to be part of my parameters. I've spent quite a lot of time thinking about what actually makes a great REN video. You know, is it the music? Is it the wordsmith? Is it the theatricality of it all? It's really difficult, isn't it? Every single song he does is different. You know, you can't put it into any sort of genre. You're often left speechless at the end of his songs or emotionally drained. He's like no other artist has ever been, I don't think. Because, in my opinion, you cannot pick a favourite REN song. Because it all depends how you're feeling emotionally to how you're going to react to that song. I think it is impossible because it's impossible. The only answer to the question, what is your favourite REN track? The answer is the next one he does.